test this out. All right. All right, check, 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 check. Just checking levels. Hopefully that is clear. Let me see if I go down here like this. See how that looks. Might have to back that up a little bit. It's not looking terrible. Cool. We got this angle. So we got left side angle, right side angle. We got our overhead shot, which looks like I will need to adjust this just a little bit. Image. I don't want the auto exposure. Let's see, shutter speed should be at 60. 500. Let's see here. 500 looks good. Hey, what's going on, guys? I don't know if anybody's on. If anybody's on, you can ask some questions. I am just trying to adjust certain things. Let me know if the audio is good. I'll do some playing and stuff like that in 1 second. I'm just checking out some angles. I need to finish setting this whole thing up hopefully this weekend, and then I can get into some master classes, some live master classes, some live streams and stuff like that, which I am super stoked about. And yeah, let's see what we got here. So let me make this bigger. The last time somebody said it was too small. Let me know if this is a good size right there. Let me know if that's cool. So essentially how I'm switching cameras right now is I set up scenes. Well, in Ecamm, I have a program called Ecamm. So in Ecamm, there's like a switcher on top. So like you could like pinpoint each sound source. So for example, like I have 4 cameras. So I have a foot cam, left side here, right side, overhead. Those are my 4 cameras. And then it also reads my iPad as a cam. So essentially, I can switch just hitting that button. But what I'm gonna do is I have an Elgato Stream Deck. I'm gonna program this Stream Deck so that all I have to do is just hit the Stream Deck to switch angles. So like right now I have to use my mouse because I don't have my Stream Deck hooked up. However, I set up scenes, what they call scenes. So I can have my right side here, I can have the overhead here, I can have just the kick when I'm giving lessons or whatever, and then I can have all cameras this way too. So it all depends on whatever combination you have. So for example, I can have also like the kick and the left side, or I can have the kick and the right side. It just depends on whatever combination you want. Or in my case, like when I'm teaching, I can give lessons this way as well. So it'll have like a right side plus the music, or I can have that kind of shot. I can have the left side and the music. I can have the overhead and the music if I wanted to do that, or if I'm working on some sort of kick pattern, I can do that as well. So hopefully that answers your question. I'm gonna create more scenes so that way I have more options, which is pretty dope. But this is the setup I use for like when I give drum lessons, like live drum lessons. So hopefully that answers your question, brother. Let's see. Audio is great. Awesome. All right, so at least my voice is sounding clear, which is great. I'm going to test out the drums in a few minutes. I just wanted to make sure that the video was looking clear. And right now I'm streaming at 1080p just because like I don't think my computer can handle a 4K stream, which is fine, and most people, you know, doesn't really matter at this point. Oh yeah, it's great. It's called Ecamm Live, but it's only for Mac, just to give you a heads up. Cool. And then, who else we got here? Juan, what's up, man? I hope you're doing well, man. I'm gonna play a little bit. Let me know how the levels are, and whatever I need to adjust, let me know. Because what I hear in my ears sometimes does not translate into the actual stream. So that's kind of what I'm kind of hoping. I think I fixed it, but every time I say I think I fixed it, there's always something, you know what I mean? So, but if anybody has any questions or anything like that, just put them in the comment box, and I will definitely answer your questions, whatever you got. I got some time, probably got like an hour or so. If you guys want to share the stream with any of your drumming buddies, I need to share the stream myself. I didn't get a chance to do that, and I don't even know where I can share that because I don't know where the link is. But anyways, if you can share that stream, that'd be fantastic. That'd be awesome. I think I'm streaming on Facebook at this point and on YouTube at the same time. I think that's what's going on. I hope, but we'll see. If anybody has any questions, just put them in the comment box. And if you're not seeing them, I'm usually seeing them. It looks like this is on YouTube right now. All right, so like you'll see the YouTube icon, the people who asked some questions. Anyhow, enough of me talking. Let me know the levels. If something's too loud, like the 8-inch tom or whatever, just let me know. I'm just gonna hit the drums normally. If you guys could let me know if the music is too loud or if it's too soft, like if there's a music balance with the, with the kit or whatever. I'll check this out later on for sure, but having live feedback is awesome, man. So again, if anybody has any questions, just put them in the comment box. let me read some comments to see what's going on, if anybody left any comments. I see what we got here. Great mix of the music and kick. Oh, awesome. Okay, that's awesome. Thank you. You're amazing. Thank you so much. Yeah, it's fun to put the 8 there. Let's see what we got here. What else we got here? Bass should be a little louder, in my opinion. All right, cool. I'll turn it up. If anybody else agrees with that, just give me a thumbs up. That way I know. I'm going to put that sucker up a little bit. Let's see what we got here. Give me a second. Let's see what we got here. What we got here? Let's see. It looks like the camera in the lower right, the bass drum is reversed. Shouldn't the beater be on the pedal? Shouldn't the right beater on the pedal be hitting the bass drum? It is. So that means, give me 1 second. I'm probably looking at it in a different direction. That's a good heads up. That's a good heads up. Let's see, let's see. Can I reverse this? Give me a second. I'm trying to. Yo, and first of all, thank you guys so much for helping me out here. Like, this really, really helps me out. Let's see. How the heck do I have to use the software to reverse the image. I'm trying to figure out. I just got this camera, that foot cam there. So please bear with me here. Why da. Let's see here. I think this is it. Hold on. Let me know if this fixes it. Give me a second. We're almost there. I'll put this. How's that? Did that work? Or did that make it worse? Is it like this? It seems like, hold on. No, it's not doing it here. Hold on, it's doing it. Okay, how about this? Give me a second. It's on the eCam side, probably. Sorry, I'm gonna have to open up a new thing here. Okay, so right now you guys are seeing this reversed, right? Because my left pedal is here. This is my left pedal. But I have the camera this side, on this side. So is Paul seeing it differently, or is it, is that right? Like, I feel like I didn't switch anything. So like, for example, my pedal on the right side, the camera's where this is, where my foot is, where my right foot is. That looks normal to me, but I don't know, Paul. Let's see, camera with lower right. Is it reverse? Shouldn't the right beater on the pedal be hitting the bass drum? And that is the right beater. So I think, I don't know, if anybody can give me some sort of feedback here, but it looks like this is right. Like, that's where my pedal is. Because I have the camera on the right side of the pedal. You know what I mean? So I'm going to unlock this, though. So maybe I can, I don't know. That looks right. Still the same, it's just mirrored on our end. It looks like you're playing with your left foot. Okay, right on. Let me see. I'm sorry, guys. I'm just trying to figure this out. This software sometimes can get a little complicated, and there's so many windows open. So I'm just trying to see how I can make this. Where's my camera? Camera, on spot. Da-da-da-da. Oh, this sucks. I'm sorry, guys. This is why I got on. I was just trying to figure things out, and I don't understand why I can't flip this thing. Oh, my bad, guys. I'm gonna have to fix that foot cam a little bit later. But this is the feedback that I needed for sure, because I don't know why this is doing that. Honestly, don't know. Yeah. Oh, wait a minute. Let's see. I might be able to pull it off this way. I think this might be it. Hold on. Let's see. This camera here. And how about now? Is that it right there? Is that it? Let me know. I think that's what you guys were talking about right there. All right. Let me know if that's it. I think that was it. I think that did it on my end. Because what happens is I have a couple windows that I'm messing around with over here, and it's a pain in the butt sometimes. And I wonder if, let me see something real quick. Does it do it with kick and music? I have to do that with every single one. What a pain in the butt. Okay. Okay. So the kick, like right now, I have this fixed. Okay. However, all the scenes that I made, for example, are all locked. Got it. Okay. So I have to go essentially every one that I have. Like, for example, this one, you see how it's reversed? So I have to, what I want here is this. Let's see, this one right here. All right, can you give me like 2 minutes and then I'll answer your questions for sure. I just don't want to forget to do this. Okay, and I have to do this for this one. Nope, where is it? Kick right side. Okay, I have to do that for this one too. Give me a second here and make sure I got this all. I'm trying to lock everything in. That way I have it. Let's go this one. What's this? Hotspot joint. Okay. This one needs to be mirrored. Boom, 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 boom. Mirror this. Okay, great. All right. So I have the right side here. I'm sorry, I'm doing this live, but this is the only way I can get the feedback that I needed to get this right. Okay, and then I got to do the same thing here with this one. My bad, people. I'm going to answer all your questions. I promise. I promise I will answer your questions. I just wanted to make sure I get this locked in because this has been a tall task to get all this done. So what's this? Left side. So left side this and this. Boom. Okay. And I think one more. Okay, let me get this one more. And then let's get this one. Mirror this. Mirror. Man, thank you guys for your patience. Again, ask your questions. I am going to answer all your questions. There's my overhead and kick. Boom. Okay, great. And then let me just fix this all cameras one. Let's go. I got to remember the order now. This is, okay, I want this one. This one. Okay, let's mirror this. Boom, boom. Okay. Now I think I got it. So this one was first. This one was second, this one was third, and this one was fourth. I think. No, that's not right. I had to kick. That works. Okay, just so I don't waste your time. But yeah, let me lock this for now, and then I'll change whatever I need to change later. And then the kick is, okay, cool. It looks like everything is, so the kick is there, that's done. That's cool. This is cool. This is so you can see like the madness I have to go through to like put like a live thing together for everybody. And I appreciate all your patience on this. All right, that's that. That's that. What's this? Okay, cool. Overhead music. Okay, cool. I think I got it all. Kick and music. Great. All right, let's actually put the music first. Just give me a second. I want to do this first. Let's go this way. Yeah, let's go this way, and then we'll do the kick. No, it has to be kick first. Let's go kick, and then that. Okay, cool. And then I can always adjust the camera later. Thank you, guys. All right, I'm done. I'm done messing with that. All right, let's see what we got here. What we got here? Let me go here. Boom, 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 boom. It looks like you ate your bass drum on your left. Oh, you're using, yeah, I just fixed that. I'm trying to get all these. Let's see. Nothing you could ever do. Yeah, trust me, there's a lot of stuff I do that's not great. Let's see what we here. Wish I could help you more a bit. No, you guys help me out a lot. All right, no problem, man. Great. Okay, awesome. Okay, it worked. Somebody said it worked. Awesome. Okay, Anybody have any questions? Let's see here. I'm assuming it says any Brazilian people in here. I think that's what it probably says, but I'm not Brazilian, so I don't know. Saludos de Argentina. Un abrazo fuerte. All right, let's see what we got here. All right, let's see here. Let me make this bigger so people can see what you actually said, Paul. Boom, boom, boom. All right, so I have a question. What would the minimal requirements be on my end in order to take an online lessons? I don't have mics, an interface, or nothing. Essentially, I actually have students use their phones. Sometimes they'll just use their phone. It depends on how in depth you want to get into the actual lesson. Like some people will just have their phones and then make sure they have like AirPods in or something like that. So they're able to talk and I'm able to see them. Some people will use iPads. You can do that. You can just use a laptop if you have a laptop. Honestly, the quickest and easiest way to do it is get a laptop and then just get like a webcam, which essentially is what I have here. I just have some webcams here, and then so that you don't get any crazy latency. So like you can have like one overhead shot here, and then you can use your laptop camera to talk. That's what that's what like some of my students do, like if they're fancy about it. But yeah, I just have this set up just because like I do like to, like when I'm demoing something, like I like to be able to like, you know, show them, okay, yeah, this is what this is, blah, 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 blah. And then I can, you know, I can show them pretty much different ideas or whatever we're working on. I can circle certain things. So like, let's say this PDF, 5 ways to create. I don't even remember what this was. Okay, so like, for example, I could say, all right, we're going to work on exercise example 1, blah, 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 blah. And then I could say, all right, with example 1, with the paradiddle, I want you to be careful with, I don't know. I'm just trying to give you a demo here. So like, for example, I could say like, listen, be careful with, I don't know, the kick and the kick and the hi-hat. You know, make sure that lines up, or blah, 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 blah. Or whatever feedback I'm giving, I can always, that's why I have this set up. It's mostly for that, just so I can like show people exactly what it is that that they need to work on. You know what I mean? So like I could say, all right, I'm going to work on example 1, you know, the paradiddle. Well, not example 1. Our main sticking is this. We have the paradiddle. But then on beats 2 and 4, we have a 3 sticking. So that can be like, okay, let's just run the first 2 beats. And I can say, all right, let's isolate just beats 3 and 4. So I just want you to play this. That way they can visually see what the heck I'm talking about. And then, you know, once I get through that, all right, this is going to be our main sticking. Can you please play the main sticking for me, please? And then, you know, I'll demo it a couple times and then they'll play it. Then I can say like, okay, I want you know what it sounds like, but this is what it looks like, you know, on the right side. That way you can see, you know, that my left hand is low, whatever. You know, so that's why I have this set up, essentially. You know what I mean, Paul? So you don't need all this stuff. This is mostly from my end. That way I can help people out as much as I can. You know what I mean? So hopefully that answers your question. Yeah. And then we have, what else we got here? Somebody put, let's see, love this, let's go. Oh, look at that effing drums. That is a great handle. That's awesome, man. Very cool. Let's see what we got here. Let me make this bigger so people can see what your question is. Was there any particular exercise or influence that motivated you to develop your precision with your playing? You have such a flawless sound with your sticking and dynamics. Thanks. Oh, dude, thank you so much. I focused on a bunch of things. So like, for example, let me just move this. I'm going to make this smaller. Okay. So I focused on a couple things. It really depended on the stickings that you were working on. For me, one of the monumental books that I used that really, I'm talking about like really, really helped me out was the David Garibaldi Future Sounds book. And I don't know if you've ever seen this book, but if you haven't, like, you should get this book. Just give me a second. I'll show you what it looks like right now. So essentially, Future Sounds looks like this. All right? It's by Future Sounds. I have the hardcover. I also have the PDF. Anyhow, essentially, let me put a right side in the music here. So the cool thing about this book was mostly the 2 sound level kind of thing. So he starts with like a single paradiddle. I'm trying to find the 16th note one. Okay, yeah. So like, for example, the goal here is to play the paradiddle, let's say this one, number 5, right? But you play with 2 sound levels. So the left side should be low. Like, all your ghost notes should be really low. I'm going to move this camera a little bit so you can see this. All right. So the left side should be, like, the ghost note should be low. But obviously it will be with the hi-hat. I just want to make sure that, I just want to show you the left hand, all right? So anyhow, so then the next step is, if you notice, the kicks are supposed to be accented. So that's supposed to be strong. So essentially what he's trying to get you ready for is like the kind of like pop drumming, but also like, you know, real world applications for most of the stuff that you're playing, right? So for example, 5 is just this. So the goal here is not to flam anything and make sure that your sound is consistent, if that makes any sense, Jason. So like working on that was like monumental for me. So then, you know, you would go through all these permutations or whatever. But like for me, the cool stuff was like all the, let's say the groove application ideas. So the groove studies. So the groove studies were amazing for me, you know, like especially, let's say, the groove study number 2, where you start on the up, where you play kind of non-conventional grooves to an extent, but you have to make them sound like Garibaldi, which is hard to do. You know, you have the ghost notes. Garibaldi plays the ghost notes really soft. I kind of don't tend to play ghost notes like super, super soft. I do feel like you should hear them a little bit, but you should be able to do both ways. But anyhow, it's like playing grooves like this was for me something that really helped me out with not only sound but with dynamics and sticking. So like, for example, groove 1 here would be, and it starts on the 4. So 1, 2, 3, 4. Right, so if I put a click to that, just give me a second. I'm going to put a click. I'm going to use Rhythm Bot. I usually use Polynote, but Rhythm Bot's a little bit easier to use. So let's say, boom, 3. All right, so I'm at like 80 BPM. Let me know if you hear that click or if you need to click a little bit louder. That will definitely help me out, because sometimes the music is, you know, the music sometimes is really compressed, and then the click, you know, the apps are not that compressed. But anyhow, so here is example 1. And again, remember, it starts on the So let me just shut that off real quick. So you're working on touch, you're working on sticking, dynamics, and everything just within this groove, which is pretty cool. So we have something like this. 1, 2, 3, 4. And then if you notice, like on the hi-hat side, like I try to use the shaft of the stick that can get a fatter sound on the accents. So like, for example, on the accent of B3 and the 4, I try to use the shaft. So I'm going shaft tip in order to get a good consistent sound, and also more of a better feel as opposed to it just being so like freaking stiff, you know what I mean? So then what I did was, once I got into that kind of thing, Jason, I started displacing things. So like the click, I would have the click on, like, let's say the and. Let's just put the and because it's easier. 1, 2, 3, 4. 1, 2. Right? And then do the same thing. So like make it the E. So now it would be 1, 2, 3, 4 E and a 1, 2 E and a 3 E and a 4 E and a 1, 2. You know what I mean? That way I was working not only on timing, but I was working on feel, and I was still working on dynamics and touch, you know? And then even like when this thing gets faster, like, which is great. So like, let's say 95. Let's say I'm on the right? So a 1, 2, 3, 4. My first note when I play that pickup should line up with that click. 2, 3, 4. You know what I mean? So that's kind of how I kind of went about, like, at least trying to work on a quote unquote flawless sound and stickings and dynamics. Like doing stuff like this will definitely help you out, like as far as everything that you just asked about, you know. So I think when you have more grooves like that, that will definitely help you out when it comes to touch and, you know, dynamics and stuff like that. So hopefully that answers your question, brother. That was a great question, by the way, Paul. Very cool. I'm sorry, it wasn't Paul. Who asked the question? Jason asked me the question. So Jason asked this question, and fantastic. Great question. All right, let's see here. Brother, finally get to see you live. I appreciate that. I'm going to try to go through, you know, go to schedule some lives for sure. There'll be times where I'm just, you know, just going at it. So make sure you subscribe to my YouTube channel because that's probably where I'm going to do a lot of live stuff. That way you can just, you know, you get the notification and then boom, we're good to go. Also, if you haven't subscribed to my channel, please do so. We're getting closer to the 100K experience, and I'm looking forward to doing a dope giveaway once I get 100K subscribers. I'm trying to hopefully either give out another snare drum or a cymbal or maybe some microphones or something. So I can't give that away unless I get the 100K subs. That's kind of what the sponsors and, you know, the companies want. So if you guys subscribe to the channel, that'd be fantastic. Tell your buddies, you know, that way I can get some cool sponsors and, you know, get you guys some real cool gear, hopefully. Let's see here. What else we got here? Somebody said the name of the method was Future Sounds by David Garibaldi. So I'll put it up here real quick. Just give me a second. I'll show you the cover of it. It came out in the 90s. I don't know what year, but it was definitely in the 90s. Here's what it looks like, just in case. So it is a fantastic book. Highly, highly recommended. Any book that David Garibaldi pretty much has written has been amazing. So, but this one for sure will get you going. So if you're looking for a book to study, you know, like I got books that I've written and stuff like that, but honestly, like, get Future Sounds, man. David is awesome, great dude, and amazing drummer, player. You know, he recently retired from Tower of Power, so, you know, any support you can give him, that'd be fantastic too, which is pretty dope. Let's see what we got here. Austin, you're a great drummer and teacher. Not everyone can do both. Oh, thank you, Paco. I appreciate that, man. Really, that was one of my goals, like when I graduated college and just in general. Like, I wanted to teach, but I also want to be able to play too, you know. And the people that I really, really respected were obviously great teachers, but if somebody was a great player and teacher, like those are the cats that I'm like, those are the guys that I admire. You know, like guys like Dave DeCenso, and there's just so many good guys out there that can play and teach. Dave Weckl, you know what I mean? Like guys like that, like that's my inspiration. I love that, you know, where I can geek out with people. Jojo Mayer, you know what I mean? Like stuff like that, which is awesome. I see who we got here. Paul, have you had any experience? I have not. I have a couple buddies that do have the Porter and Davy stuff, and they say they love it. They say it's fantastic. I haven't tried it, honestly, so I can't give you an honest feedback on that one. I definitely pick up that book. Thank you for your time. Oh, absolutely, man. Anytime. And that's what I'm here for. That's what the streams are for. For me, it's just mostly like a way of giving back. And, you know, I know not everybody's... I try to be accessible to as many people as possible, you know what I mean, while trying to make a living at the same time. So I kind of do this just to kind of help out, you know, as many people as I can, you know. I wish I had this when I was a kid, right? So, yeah. Can't wait until Atlanta. Excited to see. Oh man, I'm excited to see you there. On the next live stream, I'll have like an overlay so I can, you know, show people. I'll be in Atlanta October 25th. If anybody's in the Atlanta area, I'll be giving a drum clinic, and I already wrote like a 50-page like pamphlet that I'm trying to give away, you know, for everybody. That's there. Even if we don't go through all that material through the clinic, because I do want to answer as many questions as possible since I'm out there. But everyone will leave there with like a 50-page PDF file with a bunch of stuff to practice and ideas and stuff like that. So I'm really stoked about that. So if you're in the Atlanta area, or if it's not too far from you, I would love to see you. I got somebody coming from Europe, actually. I got a message, and he's coming all the way from Europe to come to Atlanta to see the clinic, which is, I mean, that's super humbling. You know what I mean? So yeah, it's pretty cool. Will you be in London anytime soon? Coffee on me? Oh man, I wish. Hopefully I can. I want to do some drum camps out there. Maybe I'll get invited to the UK drum show one day. We'll see. But I definitely want to go out there and do some drum camps. So if you got any connections, maybe we can piece it together. Because I would like to go out to London and go back to Spain, and maybe Sweden was awesome. I would love to go to Italy, finally experience Italy. So if anybody can help me out with that, that'd be fantastic. Just email me and we can figure out how to set it up. Because I definitely want to get out. I want to showcase and share as much as I can. I see Diva, thank you. Oh, anytime. Let's see here, what we got here. Jose, what are some recommendations for left hand looseness? So for me, the biggest thing is with my students, I always try to tell them to let go, right? So for example, do I have my practice pad here somewhere? Give me a second. Let me just get my practice pad. So that way I can talk. So for me, what I try to do is I always try to tell my students to keep like this gap open right here instead of closing it. Because as soon as you close it, you can even tell like right here, like you build in tension right from the get-go. So imagine you're doing this, you're squeezing, you already have all that tension, plus you're hitting a rim shot, you're getting all that shock and absorbing all that, you're gonna get hurt. So essentially one of the ways to kind of alleviate that is to make sure that we have this gap open right here, all right? So now it's relaxed. When I strike a drum, I don't squeeze. And if I do squeeze, it's like a real quick squeeze and I release immediately. That way I don't get hurt, all right? So one way of doing it is, it's just making sure that you have this open here, okay? But you don't want to be too loose that the thumb goes underneath the stick, because then you have no control at all. So you want to be able to just kind of do that. So one thing that I always tell my students is just play full strokes. So like legato, eight on the hand. Lewis, just in case, hopefully you don't log out. I'll be at the Atlanta drum shop in Atlanta, okay? Giving that clinic. Anyhow, so getting back to this, essentially I just use a full stroke in the beginning to make sure that the stick starts there, and when I throw it down, it comes back up, okay? And I'm not going like down and then lifting my wrist. I'm just throwing my wrist down and letting the essentially the velocity and the rebound bring the stick back up. It's kind of like a hinge, right? Like if I had no fingers on it, just these two, and I threw this stick, that's what it's gonna do. So you kind of get that motion happening first. Then put your fingers around it. But when you put your fingers around the stick, don't close the gap too much, because then you're not using rebound here at this point. You want to keep your hand still a little bit open so that you stay loose. And then essentially what I would do is, like, you can play like 16th notes, but then just accent the downbeats and the ands. And check yourself to make sure that you're just essentially just doing this. 3. You see how that is a full stroke? Okay? Sorry, Luis. I'm gonna put your let me put your question up. I had it up here, Jose. Sorry. Where is it at? Okay, boom. Okay. So that's your question, Jose. Okay? So that's what I would do. All right? Just kind of do what we call legatos, or 8 on the hand. Even when it gets faster, it doesn't matter. Like, I'm not tensing up. I'm just using my wrist at this point. As long as your stick is not doing this, where it's all over the place, then you're okay. You just want to make sure, again, keep this thumb on the stick, keep the T on there, and then also make sure that you're cushioning the stick, okay? As opposed to this, because then you're just going to hurt yourself by just going. You don't want that, okay? So that's essentially, when you talk about looseness, that's what I try to do. If you feel like you're hurting, that means you're over squeezing. You know, even if you're just going like, let's say even if you're playing a pattern like this, like that should be loose. That shouldn't be like I'm not holding on for dear life. I'm just kind of throwing the stick. Like, you know, just be relaxed. If you, again, it's all about letting the stick naturally do what it wants to do. And what it naturally wants to do is rebound. It doesn't want to, you know, be restricted. You'll have to restrict the stick for certain things, but most of the time, you want to be as relaxed as possible, Jose. Hopefully that answers your question a little bit. Let's see what we got. Luis, oh, yeah, Atlanta Drum Shop, October 25th. Next time when I get it on live, I'll have an overlay so you can see it. But it's on my, I posted it up on my YouTube, like, community, and I also have it on my Instagram and stuff like that. But Atlanta Drum Shop. Yeah, for sure. Saludos de... Oh, wow. Okay, un abrazo fuerte. Oh, man. Driving from Birmingham, Alabama. That's awesome, bro. Thank you. I appreciate that. Okay, let's see. This may be off topic. Is it bad if the drummer can't hear the drums in the in-ears while... That's not a bad... That's not a bad question at all. That's happened to me a couple times. It's not the most ideal situation because it's not as fun because you can't hear the drums. But you know, but as long as you're staying with the click or, you know, the track, whatever you're playing over, that's the goal, at least for those purposes. But like if you're playing and there's no tracks, you know, like then that's where it becomes difficult because now you have different listening demands. So, but again, it's not terrible, but not highly recommended. I'll tell you that. You do want to hear what else is going on. So, but again, that could be a financial thing, you know, if you're playing at a church or something that doesn't have, you know, an in-ear system or whatever. So it really depends on your situation. But the goal is to stay, at that point with your question, you're just trying to stay, you know, together with the ensemble. So, so that's probably what I would do. Let's see. When are you coming to Dallas, Texas? Whenever I get invited, I'll go to Dallas, Texas. This is the way this whole thing works out, right? So like, in order for me to come to your city or wherever you want me to come, essentially we have to form a plan. Like, okay, flights, a hotel night, or if we're doing a drum camp, you know, where am I going to stay? What's going to be the pay? You know, like all those logistic kind of things. So, you know, is it going to be in the drum shop? Is it a private thing? So there's a lot of things to work out before announcing, you know, some sort of clinic or something like that. So that's kind of how it goes about. That's how the whole process kind of goes. But I would love to come to Texas, man. The last time I was in Texas, I was in Houston, and I would like to come to Dallas, even though I'm a Giants fan. I still come to Dallas just to go check it out. But yeah, hopefully that if we can make that happen, that'd be great. Let's see what we got here. How can you talk and play without lavalier mics? And okay, so essentially, and I can't show you what it is, but there's like, I have like a little box. Like, make believe this is the box, right? So what happens is, the box is located on my left side of my hi-hat, and it's a mute button. So once I press it, so I'll press it now, and you won't hear me. You see how you didn't hear me? Like, you lost me? I'm still talking, but you can hear me. If you hear me, it's from the overheads. So if you heard that, it's probably coming from the overheads. But essentially, that's what's going down. Like, I have a mute button. I have a mute button on the left side of my kit. So anytime I play, I mute it. Unless I'm doing a practice pad thing, you know, where it's not too loud. You know, so like I can say like, all right, listen, we're gonna play this this pattern, flam accent, flam accent, flam tap. Right? Let's say we're playing that pattern. I can say, all right, listen, this pattern's in 5. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5. 1, 4, 5. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5. 1. But if I try to do that without the pad, the actual snare drum or whatever drum you're playing on will overpower the lav mic. So that's where you start getting clipping and stuff like that. But again, just get a mute mic. So that's how I do it, Edwin. Hopefully that helps you out. Hopefully that helps you out in your studio. All right. Let's see. Will you be hosting a drum clinic near New Jersey? Yeah, I might be doing something soon in there's a shop called Garden State Drum Shop that just opened up. I'm thinking about doing that. So I might go that route, or I might even start hosting drum camps here in my studio, but I'm not sure how I want to go about it yet. I'm definitely going to do some stuff next summer now that I got everything kind of situated. Or I'm thinking about doing like, what I'm really kind of leaning towards is doing these live streams, but doing it like purposeful, meaning like, for example, I'll do a live web stream on like hand technique or something, or, you know, hand exercises where I could say, all right, today we're going to be working on, I don't know, let's say paradiddle variations. You know, instead of playing 1, 2, 3, you know, we'll go through like different variations, you know, where it's inverted. Where you go through like, you know, stuff like that. So that's kind of where I want to go, and make it accessible to people from all over the world. Especially like for me, one of the biggest things is trying to give back to Latino America, because it's like they don't really have much out there, you know, or it's just like any third world country. Like if I can help out, that'd be great. And I'll do like a tip jar kind of thing so that you guys can buy me coffee so I can keep doing these things and pay my light bill, you know, stuff like that. So that's kind of how I'm kind of going about it, as opposed to doing a drum clinic. But if somebody invites me to do a drum clinic, I would love to. And speaking of one of the most amazing players and educators out there, the man, Jeff Prosperi. My man, I hope you're doing well. If you guys don't know who Jeff is, I'm going to tell you, this guy is one of the most killing players and educators that I've ever witnessed. Like, this guy is bad, bro. So check him out on YouTube. He's incredible. Jeff, I hope you're doing well, my man. Hope to meet you soon personally, and, you know, and get to talk. But Jeff is legit as it gets. Do you dedicate your life to drums? When I was young, yes. I still do. I think music is always encompassing in my life. But I think for me, the biggest thing that I dedicate my life to is hopefully being a good person, being a good Christian, and being a great father and a great husband. Like, that's kind of what I dedicate my life to now. It's mostly like trying to give back to the community, and just, you know, that's where I'm at now, honestly. You know, I'll never fall out of love with this. Like, this is awesome. But like, once I had kids and, you know, I got a wife, like, it gives a different meaning in life. You know what I mean? Like, I I don't know, man. This will always be part of my life, and I have my family, and I'm able to combine both. Like, that's where it's at. So, but just be careful that when you dedicate yourself to something, like, it's good to be obsessive with certain things, but don't let it control your life, because life is a lot more than drums, for sure, you know. And I learned that, you know, a couple years ago, where I was like, yeah, like, life is way more than drums. And, you know, the drums will always be here, but, like, the people that you love won't always be around, you know what I mean? So you want to take some time and dedicate your time to that, and, you know, it's just helping people. I think the biggest thing is helping people. That's my goal in life right now. It's just, I just want to help as many people out as possible. Let's see what else we got here. Being a church drummer, it's tough. I use a bear. Yeah, so whatever it is that you have to use, you'll have to use, Jose. Oh, wow, cool. Yeah, hopefully that helps you out, brother. Let's see what else we got here. What made you want to switch from DW to Pearl? Oof. There's a lot of factors that I won't go into here on this live stream. But one of the biggest things, at least one of my biggest gripes was, well, I won't even say gripes. What I couldn't do, but I couldn't continue to do, was say, yeah, go get this drum set, you know, by a certain company or whatever, you know, so that you could sound just like this. And that drum set will cost you, you know, $12,000. And not everybody's, you know, has that money. So, and we all know, like, everything is expensive now, everything. But I found that I was getting a really consistent sound with Pearl, and I can, with my heart, say to students, go get an export kit, and it will sound incredible. Just put these heads on it, and I'll show you how to tune it up, and you'll be okay. Like, and nobody will know that you have an export kit. It'll sound like a, you know, maple gum or whatever kit. It didn't matter. So that was one thing. The second thing was, DW was out in the West Coast, so if I had to order something, it took a little bit of time to get, and the shipping was a lot. So it wasn't like, and contrary to your belief, like, everybody at a certain point pays for their gear, right? So, like, at that point, you know, like, I just won the drum off, whatever. So, like, I wasn't touring, you know, or, you know, I didn't have a huge name or any of that stuff. So, the discount that I was getting at that point, it was great, it was nice, you know, and the people there were fantastic. Let me get that out of the way. I don't want people to think that, you know, that DW is whatever, you know. DW is fantastic people. You know, the owners are great, the workers, I fell in love with all the workers when I did the tour. It was fantastic, and I still love those guys. But it was just more like, it took too long to get what I needed, because it was coming from the West Coast, as opposed to Pearl, which is on the East Coast where I am, and it's in Nashville, plus Mino's at Nashville. So anytime I went to go visit Mino or Pearl, I can just kill two birds with one stone and just, you know, visit my people out there, which is great. Plus, I was getting items quick because Pearl has a warehouse in Pennsylvania. So, like, if I order something, I would get it, like, in 2 days, you know what I mean, or in a day or so. So it really, that was one, like, a really big component. And then another component for me, and this was, like, the encompassing thing for me, was with Pearl was a one-stop shop. So, for example, if I wanted hardware, I can get great hardware there. If I wanted drums, snare drums, whatever. If I wanted concert percussion, that was a big deal for me. If I wanted to get actual Latin percussion stuff, like a Negro Bells or whatever it is, I can just go, you know what? I'm gonna make one order, and I can get it all in one place, as opposed to going to this company, and then hopefully getting everything in, you know, best case scenario in a week, as opposed to getting it, you know, everything together in like 2 days. So that was another thing. And the vision at Pearl is always evolving, and they support their artists really well. And I don't know, man, I just love it over there. It's fantastic. The people are great to work with. They listen, which is a big deal. And But the sound, it's, yo, for me, like, these drums are so easy to tune and they're easy to EQ and they're just amazing. I don't know. Hopefully that, I know that was kind of long-winded, but that's honest. Like, that's honest as I can get. You know what I mean? Let's see, what else we got here? Love the short cover of the Carlitos Fuego. What do you think of the Volume 2 awful covers from? You know what? I haven't even listened to Volume 2 yet. That's honest thing, honest response. And I know people are still waiting for the cover for the whole thing. And I was going to get to that, but I got so busy in the summer. And then I got called to do this Atlanta drum shop clinic. And I started, and what really killed my time for trying to do that cover was I was teaching so much in the summer because I opened up private lesson slots, and I got overwhelmed. So I was like, I don't have time to learn it. So, but I'm gonna check it out. Hopefully next week I'll have some time to check it out. I haven't had time to do anything. This is the most amount of time I've had in like 3 or 4 months, like straight up. So it's been crazy. And so, but I'm gonna check it out, man. Let me know what your thoughts are. I haven't heard too much about it. Like, everyone was raving about the first one, and the first one was fantastic, but I haven't heard too much about the second one. So let me know if in the comments, and that'd be great to hear. Let's see. How do you do tuning, and what are your bass harmonic tones? Honestly, like with the tuning, I just listen. So what I do is, and I tell all my students this, or just anybody, sorry about that, is experiment with the drums. So like, for example, like at a certain point, the drum will choke out. Like, it'll just like, tuk, tuk, tuk. When it gets to that point, that's when I start loosening it up. And then once it starts opening up, that's when I go, okay, this is kind of my base point. Like, that's where I want it to stay. If I need to make it, the pitch a little bit lower, then I'll lower the pitch. But if I like the tone, right? And if it's like really like, let me see if I can change the angle here. Like, if, for example, if the tone is way too much, like it's just resonating way too much, what I normally do is I'll put some snare weights on this, on the toms, just so I can muffle, I'll put it this way so you can see it. Like this, okay. Okay, so I'll put some snare weights on this, and I use the M1. I use drum dots too, which are great, but like this is like really quick. And the cool thing about this is there's a magnet here and a magnet here. Sorry, it's auto-focusing. But like you can just like put that magnet here and it'll stay. And now you don't have all the, crazy muffling that you need or whatever. So, but I normally just have it this way. Makes life a lot easier. And then that way I can control the tone of everything. I also have the bottom head is definitely tighter than the top head. So this is my top head, dun 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 dun, right? And then the bottom head is a lot tighter. And I would say this, a lot of people neglect this bottom head. The tone is coming from the bottom head. So experiment with the bottom head. If you're not getting the tones that you want with the top head, that means that the bottom head is either too loose or it's too tight, and you have to experiment with the bottom head. But I always have my bottom head tighter than the top. That way I can get a full tone. That's normally kind of how I go about it. And then, I don't know if you can see it here, on the floor tom, inside I have cotton balls. You can see my finger there. I don't know if I could zoom in or try to, but I don't want to mess up the camera. But right there I have some cotton balls, and that is so that it adds like a natural gate on the drum, so I don't have to put a gate on the floor tom. So that's kind of how I go about it. And then with this one, because it'll ring out so long, I have this is the M80 snare weight that I use on the floor tom. You know what I mean? I hope that that helps you out there. Let me just put this thing back on. All right. And then if you notice, like on the 8-inch tom, I have like a little dot on it, just because like if I try to put a snare weight on it, it'll deaden the sound way too much. So, and then the tones, I try to get an interval. So let's say, da 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 da, charge, right? So that's how I kind of go about it, if that makes sense, if that helps you out a little bit, all right? And what we got here? Let me go back to this camera so you're not just looking at that. What else do we have here? Can you make a video about mixing drums? That is on the list. The problem with me making videos about something like this is a lot of this is subjective, and I don't mind doing it, but the problem is like the editing process takes so long with those videos, like to do the computer screen and all that. So as much as I want to do it, it's just like not on the highest priority right now. But here's what I'll say. When you mix your drums, you want to make sure, first of all, before you put any EQ or anything like that, make sure your signals are clean and that you have even signals. That's number one. Number two is there are certain frequencies on a drum that you'll need to cut out so that they don't interfere with the other drums. And this is where things get a little bit more complex. So my suggestion is this: if you're going to mix a drum set, try to do it with a minimal setup. So for example, kick, snare, maybe floor tom, all right? And then go, if you want, high tom. Honestly, what I did when I first learned was I had a Zoom recorder that I use all the time still, and I just used the room mic there, and then I tried to get the best sound out of the room mic. So I would have literally the Zoom recorder would be here facing the kick, kind of like a Glenn Johns kind of technique, but without the overhead. And then I would try to get the best sound I could, and it worked. You start seeing like what frequencies work with the kick, what frequencies work with the mid range and the high range, and then you try to get that balance. And the good thing about having just one microphone is that you learn how to balance yourself and your playing. So like for example, if I hit the snare too hard, I can't control that in the mix because I only have one microphone. So the cool thing is like it forces you to go, okay, I'm just gonna hit the snare drum a little bit softer, I gotta hit the kick a little bit louder, and then, you know, the hi-hat can't be so loud. So you'll end up with like, I don't know, let's say a groove like this. Right, and then when you actually put it on their microphones, it's balanced, you know what I mean? Because you're able to do that. So then let the microphones do the work for you as well. Don't let people tell you like, yeah, hit harder, hit harder. There's only so loud a cymbal can go. There's only so loud a tom can go before it starts getting choked, all right? As opposed to like, if I hit the cymbal soft, it'll sound round and resonant, but as soon as I start bashing on it, it's gonna get distorted. So hopefully that helps you out a little bit, Reza. That's a dope name, I like that name. Let's see what else. In my opinion, Volume 1 is just too good. Volume 2 has some great highlights too. First track, okay. All right on, so I'll check it out. But yeah, not a lot of people seem like they're talking about Volume 2 as much as Volume 1. Okay, let's see here, what we got here. Can you make a video on how to play a danzón on a drum set? I used to play a lot of danzons on timbales. Yeah, I'll see if I can make a video for you. You know who has a dope video? I think it's Daphnis. Daphnis has a couple songs that he plays on his albums that you can just literally transcribe. It's like sha da 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 ra da da da, and like he has some really cool variations. I think the biggest thing though, Jacob, is the tuning. Like to try to play a danzón on a drum set like this, like it sounds okay, but like with Daphnis, he has like the toms are a lot higher because he has like a jazz tuning kind of kit. So it works out really nice. So a lot of it's gonna have to deal with the tuning, if that makes sense. All right, but if I have some time, I'll try to hook you up there. Anybody else have any questions? Practice sessions or anything like that? Let me know. How long we've been on? Damn, we've been on for an hour. That's great. It goes fast. So I'll probably be on here for a couple more minutes. If anybody has any questions or anything like that, I'm going to play to a track or try to, just to make sure. Just let me know if the mix is okay. Let's see. What's his name? Okay, his name is Daphnis, D-A-F-N-I-S. Daphnis, and his last name is Prieto. So P-R-I-E-T-O. Daphnis Prieto. He's crazy. He's amazing. One of my heroes for sure. Let's see what we got here. Please do a shout out. I'm from, yo, what's up, Hez? I hope you're doing well, my man. From where? The Philippines. Oh, man, I would love to go to the Philippines. I was in Singapore before, and it was fantastic. So I would love to go out there to check it out, for sure. Let's see what I got here on Moises. I don't even know what I have on Moises here. What do we got here? Let's see. Man, I think I'll probably play this track at the clinic, but I'm not sure. No. Let's see, where is it at? I don't know. This thing might get flagged for, hopefully it doesn't. You know what, I'm not going to play a track because I'll probably get flagged for this. So, but essentially, if you haven't checked out this app called Conga Chops, you guys should check this out. So for example, you'll have something like this. So this has a lot of like timba stuff and Latin stuff. It's a great app. So let me just put all my cameras on so you can do it. All right. Let me know if the music's too loud, etc., etc. Cool, I'm gonna check that out a little bit later just to make sure that the levels are good. Ooh, wait a minute. My guy is here. I gotta say what's up to him. Yo, Marcus, what's up? If you don't know who that cat is, you need to go follow him now. Subscribe to his channel. I'm sure most of you guys know who Marcus Thomas is. Absolute monster. My man, I hope you're doing well, man. I'll be in Atlanta. I know you're in Florida, but I'll be in Atlanta October 25th. So if I know, kind of a hike, but dude, I would love to see you, man. It would be great. Let's see. What else? Love from India. Whoa, from India. What's up? Juan, your grooves are in match as always. I haven't seen you play. Yeah, I don't play. I really don't play double bass like that. I put it out there just to kind of put myself out there. But it's not my forte, I'll tell you that. The one thing I've been working on is just trying to get like a 3-stroke kind of consistent thing, like just trying to get that happening first, you know, before trying to go like like I don't know. It's cool that, you know, people go with the feet and stuff like that. Like I don't know. That's not my thing. You know what I mean? Like I would like to like be able to incorporate like little or like a little 5-stroke roll, you know, or 4s or 5s, maybe like this, like a 7. That's it. That's all I would really like to be able to accomplish. That way I can put that stuff in between as opposed to just going, you know, forever. But much love, man. Appreciate that. Let's see what we got here. Let's see. I would love to know what was your journey to get to the level you are now, what age you started, teachers you had, books that. Oh, man, that's like a long interview, honestly. I would say this. I always loved the drums. It was something that I always thought was fascinating, the way it looked, the way they sounded. I don't know, it was just something that I just loved to do, and I gravitated to it. And my parents saw that, so they didn't push me to do any of this stuff. You know what I mean? Like I would always naturally kind of just gravitate to it, but they supported the heck out of me with things. So, and I'm not talking about like them getting me a drum set and stuff like that. And when they did get me a drum set, like it was a sacrifice. It wasn't like something like, we didn't have money like that. But it was something that they knew that I would probably really do, you know, 100%, you know? So anyhow, I started when I was young, probably like 5, 6, maybe earlier. I don't even know, honestly. I don't remember. And then for teachers, my first teacher was John Gronert, who's still one of my closest friends. And he studied with Joe Morello. So my first drum teacher was pretty much like an extension of Joe Morello techniques and, you know, Gladstone principles and stuff like that. So whatever he told me to do, that's what I did. So once I did that, at a certain point, I did drum corps. And I got really into drum corps, just like really focusing on hand technique and stuff like that. That was like throughout high school and maybe like the first or second year of college. And then at that point, while I was in college, I was studying a bunch of classical percussion. So I was learning how to play marimba and timpani and all that stuff, which is fantastic. And then I was going to school to be a band director. So I got my degree in music education. Then I started teaching at the high school level for 6 years, and then I eventually transferred to the middle school level because I wanted to go get my master's, and I knew I wanted to eventually start a family, and I didn't want to be out playing, you know, in football games and not being around my family and stuff like that. So anyhow, I started doing that, and then you know, I won the drum off and all that throughout that time in there, and then I was teaching at a university level, which was so much fun. And then, you know, COVID happened, etc. But like, yeah, it's just, you put the hours in, you know, it's, you get what you put in at the end of the day. But for me, it was mostly about being efficient with my time, you know. So like, let me give you an example. So for example, if I was practicing, just because everybody, you know, says this, like a paradiddle, right? Like I wouldn't just practice a paradiddle playing it like this. Like I would do different permutations, so like right? And then what I would do is like, okay, I'm gonna stay with the paradiddle. What else can I do? You know, substitute the right foot, you know, for the right hand. So. Etc. And just kind of go down the gamut. And then, you know, like I would take a book like New Breed and be like, all right, how can I, you know, apply New Breed, you know, in the simplest form. You could just put it on the hi-hat and the snare. So whatever I was practicing, it was more like, okay, I'm going to practice this small segment. Let's say it's the paradiddle, but I would come up with various ways and methods to kind of just practice the same thing, or at least the same idea, concept, but in different ways. So that's the biggest thing. I think that's what helped me out the most, was limiting your practice idea session. So go in there and go, okay, like for example, you could do the same thing. Like if I'm working on double strokes, all right, great. You're playing 16th notes, you know, sextuplets. You go through all these, you know, permutations or whatever, and then go, okay, you take New Breed, same concept. Let's say the melody is this. Right, so then what you would do is you play that same thing, but with doubles, because I'm practicing doubles, right? So you take that same concept, you go. You know, and then go, okay, let me check myself and do it, you know, let's say dot, 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 go back and forth from the singles to the doubles. You know, and then just, that's how I practice. That, I think that was the game changer for me, was just get that one idea and then maximize the idea as best as you can. Because that way it's applicable, you know, immediately. So hopefully that answers your question. Man, those drums sound so, oh, bro, I can't wait to hear them on the stream. Because what I hear in my ears sounds good, but sometimes on the stream it doesn't sound good. So that, coming from you, Marcus, that means that they have to sound good, because your sound is always legit. That was awesome. Thank you. I appreciate that. Greetings from Serbia. Oh, wow. Awesome. What else we got here? Oh, we got some hearts. I love that. Okay. Since I'm watching from the snare drum from, I'm waiting for the snare drum from Congo. Bro, let me put this out here. The amount of messages I get about people wanting gear from me is crazy. And trust me, I would love to be, and this is one thing that I'm going to be working towards, like when I retire from the school system, is I'm going to start a nonprofit so that I can help people just like you. That is one of my goals, hands down. Unfortunately, the hard part about this whole process is, even if I try to ship something to, let's say, Congo, it doesn't necessarily mean that you're going to get it, because I don't know how customs is over there. Customs always, you know, digs through things. Sometimes I've heard horror stories where people just don't get their stuff. You know what I mean? So I wish, Diem, I think that's your name. If I could, trust me, if there was a way like the Jetsons where you could like teleport something and just give it to somebody, like I would totally do so. My heart is there for sure. Unfortunately, I just can't do it. You know what I mean? Like I can't do that, and I can't afford to do it. I wish I could afford to do it. Plus, I can't guarantee that you'll actually get, you know, the snare drum or whatever else you're looking for, man. So I apologize on that, man. Trust me, I would love to help you out. It's a great job, Mr. Mendoza. Are you able to explain your approach to rim shots with grooves, fills, dynamics when playing in a future video? Huh. That's a tough one to answer. There's a lot of stuff there. Are you able to explain your approach to rim shots with grooves? Well, with grooves, it's you know, it depends on the sound, you know, like for example, a rock sound, you know, and also the rim shots, let me just go here this way. The rim shots, it's an art form in itself because, like, for example, you want a fat rim shot, you use, the fatter part of this shaft. But then, there's times where you want, like, let's say a timbale sound, right? I don't know why that switched, sorry. Let's go here. All right. So, for example, sometimes you want a timbale sound, so you'll use, like, what we call, like, the ping shot. So, like, that sound is, like, bad for, like, rock music, right? Where you're going. Because it sounds thin, unless the producer wants that, as opposed to. But then when you're playing, like, Latin music or any kind of world music, that's the sound that, you're trying to emulate a timbale or something, like. You know what I mean? So it's just that kind of thing, you know what I mean? Where it's just like, it really depends on the sound or the groove or the genre you're playing, right? So that's a hard one to answer, but have a great week. Thank you. I plan on hanging out, finally getting some time to clean up the studio. Speaking of the studio, this wall I just got, I'll show you what it looks like, just normal. So like, that's white or whatever. Anyhow, so I just got this wall installed. Let me get out of the way so you can see it. But it's pretty rad, man. Audimute came in and we changed this wall. And then we just put like this new lighting. So check out these colors. It looks, red, green, blue, white. I had the orange. I dig like this orange right here. Oh, what happened here? So like these colors, it's killer, man. You get some cool, options or whatever. But anyhow, let me just go back to this orange. But yeah, I finally have some time to clean this place up a little bit. I got to clean this desk over here, and I have my switcher ready to go. That way I don't have to use this mouse and stuff like that. By the way, for those people that have been asking me this, let's say. Give me a second here. So this camera right here, I'm sorry, not this camera, this table right here, David Raouf made for me. And essentially, for those that been asking, it's just a table. Let me just unscrew this. So essentially, it's just like a small table that he made for me. What is it? Maybe like 10 inches or something like that. This is just mostly to fit my mouse on it, which is pretty rad. It's just people have been asking me how the heck do I have it mounted. So essentially I just have like an extra boom stand that I've been using here. And then there's like a quarter 20 thing there. Oh, check it out. That's David. There it is. He made it for me 2 years ago already, which is crazy. So that's it. That's what we got going on there. Let me put this thing back on. Hopefully I don't jack it up. But yeah, for those people that have been asking about the table, that's what it is. So I don't have it for sale or anything like that. But if you want to get one, just hit up David. He'll make you one for sure. Boom. And then I could just put that like that. You know what I mean? So it's convenient for me when I give my lessons and I want to demo something and I don't want to be here. I just put it here or whatever. You know what I mean? So hopefully that answers that question for somebody who had it somewhere. But yeah, let's see what else. I got a couple more questions and then I'm probably going to be out of here so I can chill out a little bit and clean up. Let's see. Where we're at here. What we got here? Marcus Master, you giving me a feeling about the samurai loop that you played. All right, cool. Hit up Marcus, man. He's cool. He'll answer your question with. Marcus is amazing. Okay. So, wow, that solo without sound was amazing. How do you get to flow? This is stuff I go over in my lessons, but essentially you want to be able to go through permutation studies. So, for example, let's say, my bad. So let's say, for example, you want to work on that ostinato, you would go something like this. Right? And then what I tell my students is like, let's just play 16th notes underneath that. And then, you know, just go through the permutation. So downbeats, E's, ands, and so like this. Right, so once you're able to kind of do that kind of vibe, then it's a matter of just like, I have my students just improvise using that, you know, just using the single notes. And again, you're just coming up with melodies at that point, you know, what you're hearing in your head. So, and I just keep it on the snare drum. So something like this, 3, 2, 3. You know what I mean? That's how I kind of go about it. And then when it gets faster, it's, you know, it sounds cool, whatever. But that's how I kind of go about it. I just try to have my students play on one sound source first and see if they can improvise just using that one sound source. And then again, like the next step, you can like, you know, you can do double accents or whatever. You could put rest in there. Because that's another thing too. Like some people forget to just play rest. Like rest are just as important as the notes you play. So having that silence or that 16th note silence or that and or whatever, like something like this is super important. You know, doing stuff like that, you know, helps you out. But I go over all that stuff in like private lessons and stuff like that. But yeah, I go through it pretty systematically, honestly. Let's see what else. How can I get good and flexible with the finger techniques with chops? That's a tough question. I don't really understand that. I mean, finger technique is like, honestly, like if I were you, like if you just want to work on fingers, like you just normally just do this kind of thing, you know? So kind of just do this, you know? So, and I would just go. And again, I'm not moving my wrist, I'm just kind of doing this. You know, and then, you know, build your endurance that way. You know, just do that. And it chops, it all depends what kind of chops you're talking about. You know what I mean? Like if you're just going around the drum set, let's say, I'm gonna give you one of my cheat codes for sure that I use when I'm going around the drum set. So for example, one way you can get around the drum set is to do like this exercise, like 2, 2, 2, 3, 2, 2, 3. And it turns it around. So So trying to just go around there, but trying to move ergonomically. Right? And you know, go slowly, you don't have to be fast. But if you're just trying to get around, sometimes it's just a sticking that you need to get around. So for example, I'll use a double paradiddle all the time. So here's the double paradiddle slowly. So just with that sticking alone, you can just go down the toms and it sounds fantastic. And it feels good, and it's not as much effort as opposed to just doing singles. Right, so I'll do it in a group context. You see what I mean? By just using that double paradiddle sticking, sorry, let me put your question back up here. That was from the live stream before. Okay, so again, that was just a double paradiddle. So all singles, da, 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 and then the double will be on the right hand here. That's your first double paradiddle, and then left hand lead. I'll do it again. All right, and then you finish it out here on the floor tom. Bro, you can use that on anything. Like I said, it's just even like Latin stuff. I use it all the time. 3, 4. So a lot of it's sticking, you know what I mean? So, but you gotta go through the pad exercises first, you know, on one sound source, and then, you know, slowly move it around. Let's see here. Oh, you're welcome. Anytime, William. Let's see what else we got here. Great, look. How to entrain me in compound. Yeah, so like for me, the biggest thing is you got to count, you know, this stuff, you know, and making sure like before you start superimposing things and getting crazy with everything, like count 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 1, 2, 3, 4, 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 1, 2, 3, and be intentional with that, right? Or let's say it's 7, because everyone, you know, likes to play in 7. Like I feel like that's the go-to odd meter, right? So, for example, let me see if I can play this off here. One, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7. 1, 2, right? So normally people play the 7 like this. So for me, once you establish that, like you can change the ostinato, right? So da 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 da, because it's a 3 no sticking, right? It goes over the bar line, so something like this: 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7. 1, 2, 3, And let me just change the angle here so that we're not always on this side. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7. 1, 2. Right? So you have that kind of situation, right? I think of that like the Vinny kind of way, right? But then another way of doing it, and this is the way I really like to do it, is instead of thinking 7, 8, you could think a bigger number like a 7, 4. So instead of thinking this, 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, think of it like this. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7. 1, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7. That way you can have more time to process things. You know what I mean? So let me just put it here. That way you have more time to process these ideas. So something like this. So instead of it being so square sounding, now it's going to sound like it's more like almost like 4, 4. But we're in 7, 4 instead of 7, 8. So 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 1. Here's the pulse for the 7, 4. You know what I mean? Where it becomes more natural, like it sounds more natural as opposed to it always hitting a downbeat of 1 on every bar. It gives it some time to breathe, all right? Let's see, you got one more question and then I'm probably gonna be heading out. Let's see what we got here. Is the room inside the house? How do you control the sound? Yes, the room is inside my house. We did a room within a room and then, but honestly, like that's gonna help, the room within the room, but also Automute came in here and really did an amazing job organizing this place, and their products are absolutely hands down the best. So it's kind of think of this room like it's like a big vocal room, like really dry. Like the effects you hear are coming from the mixer, but it's a really dry room and it's really isolated. And if I didn't have air inside of here, like I'd be sweating like crazy. Like it's tight. The room is tight. But yeah, we did a room within a room though. That's very important. Let's see what else we got here. Thank you. I'll wait. I want you to show me some polyrhythms. Yep, we'll do that next time maybe if we have some time. Thank you so much. You're welcome. May I know what effect or reverb you use for the drums? Yeah, just honestly, I just use whatever is built into the CQ18T. I'll show you the mixer right now. Just give me a second. Essentially, it's just this mixer. It's an Allen Heath. The letter C, the letter Q, the number 18, and then the letter T. So essentially, that's what we have there. You know what I mean? And then the mixer has the built-in effects all in here. And then all these are going through a snake. So like, for example, everything I have plugged in there's a snake on the other side of the room. That way I can keep everything kind of organized. I would eventually, hopefully get a desk that has everything like all in one place. Like right now, I'll show you it's kind of a mess. I have to fix all this. So before I had, so for example, like this desk has like a switcher and stuff like that, but it became a little too complex because I had all these 4K cameras, but my computer couldn't hang, and it was just too much of a mess. So honestly, if I can get a desk that kind of has this size, but also has like a shelf, so I can put this on a shelf, that would save me a lot more space. So, but to answer your question, all the, let me just go here this way. All the effects and stuff are coming from this mixer. So I don't have it going through a DAW or anything like that. I was trying to get it through a DAW, but it became too complex. So the simpler the better for me, which is great. Like even this camera right here that I have is not really a webcam, but it turns into a webcam when you put it on your computer, and everything syncs up perfectly. As opposed to like when I had my Sony A7 IVs, like I had to do all this delay stuff, testing, and it was becoming a big headache. So I said, you know what, I'm gonna switch this whole setup, and then that way I'm gonna sell some things that I don't need, and you guys can use it if you purchase it. Let's see what we got here. Man, the snare's kill. Oh, I appreciate it. What it is a Ultra Cash snare drum. I just got it maybe a couple months ago, but it is an aluminum drum essentially, but it's pretty thick. It's a rolled aluminum drum, and it's a 6.5 by 14, and I haven't been able to take it off because it sounds so good. And that's another thing. That's another reason why I moved to Pearl too. Like the drums sound fantastic. Like every drum that I've gotten so far has been great. The only drum that I was kind of like a little apprehensive of, and it wasn't because it didn't sound great, it just wasn't my sound. I had this the Stavecraft drum, but it was just too thick. Like it was very dry, and it had a great sound, but I wanted something a little bit more versatile. So that's the only drum I really kind of got rid of essentially, or sold. But that was it. You're welcome anytime. What? Thank you so much. I have no idea how much that is, but I appreciate the super chat. I really appreciate that. Let's see. I think I got some sound effects here, maybe. What we got here? I don't think it came out. But, bam. Thank you. I appreciate that so much. Like, you don't understand how much that means to me, man. Let's see what we got here. Where is my mouse? Okay. Can you play 77793? No, I really never worked. I know the song, but I never really worked it out. I know my boy, oh man, I have a couple friends that play it really, really, really well. J-Rod, my boy J-Rod plays it really well. Who else plays it really well? What's his name? I'm going blank. But yeah, I got a couple friends. I don't have that. I'm trying to negotiate what to do with the 2 backbeats and roll figures. If I had the answer, I would give it to you, but I don't have the answer. I have to check out that thing. Let's see what we got here. New subscriber sounds great. Woo! Another sub. Appreciate you. Appreciate you checking it out and hanging out with me. Really dig that. How can I use a paradiddle or any 8 not in a 6/8 pattern? Not sure I understand that question. Not in a 6/8 pattern, a paradiddle. Well, you can use it in 16th notes. You can use it in quintuplets. I mean, there's so many ways you can. I just don't understand that question, John Carr. Oh, man. So, for example, you can do, I don't know, let's say, I mean, quintuplets, you can do it in quintuplets. Like, let's say, there's your 5. Quintuplet, university, university, university. And all that's a quintuplet, right? So if I play a little faster, let's see. right? University, university, 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 1, 2, 3, 4, 5. You know, there's so many ways you can use that. You know, paradiddle you can use in any combination, any sticking, whatever. So that's a hard one to answer, but not in 6/8 patterns. So you can use it in quintuplets, septuplets, 16th notes, 16-note triplets, etc., etc. Let's see here. Thank you, sir. Thank you for the clarifications. Yeah, anytime, Ben, anytime. Anybody else have any questions before I bounce? I can't believe I've been here almost 2 hours. It's been amazing to have this platform. If you subscribe for the first time, I appreciate you guys. I really do. If you haven't subscribed to my YouTube channel, it's youtube.com, and then just put my name, Juan Carlito Mendoza, and I give as much information as I can to help out as many people as I can. If you dig what you see here, you can buy me a coffee at buymeacoffee.com. Juan Carlito Mendoza. I got a bunch of lessons there too, like PDF files if you want to check that out. All that good stuff. But let's see here. Can you send us a drum book, please, through a link? I unfortunately cannot do that because I bought that book. So it's Future Sounds, David Garibaldi. You'll see it's a fantastic book. Sometimes, well, not sometimes. What I found is when you invest in something that you really believe in, it usually pays off at the end, meaning you value it more. So for example, when I pay for my books and stuff like that, I value that stuff more because it came out of my hard-earned money. So yeah, check out Future Sounds. It won't cost you that much. Plus, you're supporting David Garibaldi, who's fantastic and a great human being. So, unfortunately, I'll have to decline on that one. But I do have a bunch of free stuff on my website. You can check out that, and you can check out my YouTube channel. My YouTube channel has a bunch of links and stuff, and there's a bunch of PDF files. I've given out so much free information. Just go on my YouTube channel. I promise you, you'll find something there. There's definitely PDF files, and yeah, you can check that out there. Let's see. How do we sign up for private lessons? You can check out my website. My website has a link on a Calendly link. I'm going to open up slots for next month. I won't have too many because I'm getting ready for the Atlanta Drum Shop clinic in the end of the month. So I'll have slots there. But check out my website, carlitomendoza.com. Next time I stream, I'll have overlays here so you can see, you know, on my website and all that stuff. I just haven't had time to set it up. All right. Let's see. Anything else? Let's see what we got here. I'm sorry. My question is how to apply paradiddle in 6/8 or any 8th note. Yeah. So again, with the paradiddle, like if it's in 6/8, so 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6. You can put it like that in 16ths, or 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 1. It really depends on the situation. Like, so if you're going 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 1. You can play it in that rate. So 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 1, 2, 3, 4. You know, it depends on what you're trying to accomplish. Honestly, like, how can you apply it? You can apply it so many ways. Like, there's no one answer to this, you know. But like I say. So one way you can apply it, right? Instead of playing the whole paradiddle, is you can just play the right, left, right, right, and then a left hand. And then change the accents. That's called the grandma. So essentially it's just a paradiddle, right, left, right, right, and then a left. So. Right. So if you play it in a groove context, it'll sound like this. And I'll put all the shots on so you can see. So let's say, where is... Oh my, oh cameras. Okay, so 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6. You know what I mean? So you could kind of just do that. All right? So, and if you want to take a lesson, let me know. I will show you so many combinations that will probably leave you busy for a long time. Thanks, Juan. Have a great day. All right, Jacob, I appreciate you tuning in, man. I appreciate everybody tuning in. Let's see, I got one more comment, and then we're probably going to head out. Thanks. Helpful session, as usual. I appreciate that, Robert. Again, I'll be at the Atlanta Drum Shop October 25th on a Saturday. So if anybody is in the Atlanta area, down south, I would love to see you guys there. Other than that, I might get on live tomorrow. We'll see. I might record. I got to record some content for Instagram. I haven't done that in a minute, but we'll see what happens. Have a great day. Thanks for tuning in. I appreciate you guys. I appreciate everybody for subscribing to my YouTube channel. We're almost at 100K. Once we get to that 100K, we're going to give something super dope out. We'll probably give away a cymbal. We might give away some overheads from Earthworks. We might give away some drum heads. We might give away a bunch of stuff. But that can only happen if you subscribe to my channel. 100K subs. We're on the way, baby. I appreciate you guys. I'll see you guys next time. Peace. Have a nice weekend.